Now, the PAC may find itself not registered to participate in the forthcoming national and provincial elections. Earlier today, the High Court in Pretoria ordered that both the two PAC factions led by Mzwanele Nyhontso and Narius Moloto submit papers that show who the legitimate party leader is before Thursday. SABC reporter Abongile Dumako joins us now on the line for more. Abongile, let's just first start with what led the court to making this pronouncement.
Good afternoon, Tepi Somakweka. Certainly quite an eventful day for the two factions of the PAC. Basically, the party and the other faction of the party led by Mzwanele Nyhontso has actually taken the Electoral Commission to the High Court in the North Gauteng High Court in Pretoria, to actually force it to allow it to be the legitimate, faction of the PAC that should appear on the ballot paper come the 8th of May election. This actually follows an order from the very IEC, which actually said to both factions led by Mzwanele Nyhontso and, of course, Narius Moloto to actually go back to the drawing table and talk among themselves and decide who actually is the right leadership for this embattled PAC. That has not happened, it would seem. Instead, the faction led by Mzwanele Nyhontso decided to approach the High Court in Pretoria to actually force the IEC to recognize them as such. So that basically was what happened. But apparently, even before actually the case was listened into court, the lawyers representing the faction and that of the IEC actually came to a conclusion that this can't be heard in court until the faction of Narius Moloto comes to the fore and actually also does bring up the papers that actually suggest that Narius Moloto is indeed, the legitimate
leader.
So,
Abongile, what exactly happened? Because, as you say, this is a long, ongoing saga. Did both factions register for the PAC for elections?
No, they have not yet registered. They have until Wednesday next week to do so, which one, from where I'm sitting, that would be highly impossible if the court, that is now the North Gauteng High Court, is yet to listen to this dispute between the two factions as to actually who is the rightful, the legitimate leader of the PAC. Basically on the basis of the fact that they are yet to bring the papers into court on Thursday, both factions. The judge will have to sit and sort of go through all the papers from both sides, and he's yet to decide, which is highly impossible, that he would decide between, say, Thursday and next week, Wednesday, which will be the actual last day for parties to register with IEC. So from where I'm sitting, I can sort of believe and see that it's highly impossible for both factions actually to actually register for this election.
As you say, a difficult one, but are there any guidelines that have been set so that both factions who claim legitimacy can actually prove that they are the rightful PAC holders, so to speak?
So right now, it entirely relies on the court to decide as to who are the legitimate leaders of the PAC as things stand now. Bear in mind that Narius Moloto, with his faction, said that he's not willing to sit down on the table with this other faction. We had an interview with him a couple of weeks ago. He said what he will do right now, he'll actually approach the Constitutional Court where he believes, this will actually be brought into an end so that they can be able to participate in the upcoming elections, having gone as far as actually launching his election manifesto at the City Hall in Johannesburg just a few days ago, which shows that he is actually eager to take things up as far as the Constitutional Court. Meanwhile, on the other side, Mzwanele Nyhontso and his group saying that they are willing to come together with Narius Moloto, sort of get to a decision as to how are they going to sort this out moving forward without having to approach the court, which they say they feel obliged to do because they can see that the deadline is fast approaching and they are not yet certain as to what's going to happen in as far as registering the PAC for the election is concerned.
All right, thank you very much, SABC reporter Abongile.